Hey team, Brittany Kohlberg here. Wanted to recap some amazing things that we learned at convention. And one of my favorite speakers was Sarah Marble. And she did her session on time efficiency, how to manage time well. It was very convicting for me, and I gleaned a lot out of it. So I have some notes, and I want to share with you all some of the key things that she said in hopes that it helps you manage your time effectively as well. So the number one thing that she said was to set goals. How important it is that when we actually write down and clarify and speak out our goals and then continue to look at them, redefine them, and see where we're measuring up, that is a clear path to success and a clear path to meeting those goals. So we need to make sure we are actually writing them down and reviewing them. Also, she said to determine our business hours, that we need to realize that we are indeed professionals running a business. And yes, we have freedoms, and those are great. But if we start to focus too much on the freedoms, we end up being lazy and not very efficient with our time. So we need to establish hours. If those are set every single day beforehand, or whether they're just afternoon time or morning time, or I'm setting the clock and for the next 1 hour or 2 hours, I'm going to plug away at, my list. Whatever it may look like for you, that's fine, but just make sure that you're actually determining your hours of operation, and that will help things run efficiently. And with that, she said that we need to establish priorities. We need to make sure that Plexus isn't just hopping in every minute, or we're constantly being slaves to our texts or to our phones or to our emails, that we have our priorities set. That way it protects us from burnout. And ultimately for Sarah, for me, for a lot of us, our number one priority needs to be God, and that we're spending time in prayer and in His Word, getting filled up so that we can pour out to others. And secondly, of course, we need to make sure that we are putting our family first. And she even suggested to make sure we're first and foremost scheduling our family time, whether that's date night with our spouse, personal time, family time, whatever it is, that those actually get scheduled and calendared out so that Plexus doesn't end up becoming first and ruling over that, and the tables are turned and burnout occurs. We don't want that. So schedule. Make sure you're scheduling time for God and prayer and devotion, and schedule time for family. And then have your Plexus hours of operation. And everything being in the right order will just run a lot more efficiently with a lot more focus and just, I think, fervor. So one of the great lines that she said was, plan your work and work your plan. I really liked that. I think that's key for us to keep good focus. So her advice was that we need to make sure when we are working our plan and we are doing our Plexus business, that we choose income producing activities first and foremost. So that won't look like when we sit down to do Plexus, we're scrolling through Facebook and just wasting our time in Facebook. Because as you know, Facebook's a great tool, but it can also be a black hole and a big time suck and won't be productive. So she said first and foremost that when we are sitting down to work our business, we need to do income producing activities such as what will draw in more customers, what will help train my team currently, what will end up educating and producing new business. So if that is on Facebook, that's fine, but make it specific to income producing activities. And make sure that we're being productive, not just active. I know I can have days that I feel very busy. I feel very active, but they have not been productive. So she said at the end to ask yourself, did this advance my Plexus business? Whatever you just spent your time on, whatever you just did this advance my Plexus business? Because again, as helpful as Facebook is, we could get sucked into a lot of different Facebook groups and just a lot of kind of scrolling through or commenting, or and it ends up not being productive at all. That ultimately, our networking isn't on Facebook with other Plexus people. Yes, we love all of our Plexus friends and our Plexus ambassadors, and they are our support and our cheerleaders and our encouragement, and they are our friends. But honestly, our networking actually is outside. That is with our customers or with our potential customers or our friends or the people we meet at the grocery store or whatnot. This is different than a corporate job. I think in corporate America, it's lined up a little bit differently that your networking happens within those walls and that you want to network with your coworkers and with your boss and with your boss's boss and with hopefully the head boss, and that's going to help you. But in Plexus, it's a little bit different. Not that we don't love, again, talking and networking with other Plexus people, but ultimately that's not going to be that income producing activity. What we really need to make sure we're spending our time on is networking with people who don't know about Plexus, or bolstering and helping train our team and helping them go out and do the same. So that's what we want to spend our time on. So hope that makes sense there. And then she spoke about the 531, and I think some of us have heard of it, but for those that haven't. And the 531 model is to share Plexus with 5 people every day. Sarah says she actually puts 5 business cards in her purse every day, and she knows by the end of the day if she's done her job well, if she's empty. So whether that's taking 5 samples every day and handing those out, or again passing out the business cards, but sharing Plexus with 5 people every day. I met a sweet lady at convention who has a cute idea, and she actually had a postcard size business card, and she'll walk up to different people at the store and say, "Have you been pinked today?" And of course they look at her and say, "What? Have you been pinked today?" No? Okay, good. And she hands them this card that says, "You've been pinked." And then she says, "Hey, we're having a contest in my work. Can I please take a selfie with you holding up your pink card?" And they say, "Sure," because who doesn't want to get their picture taken? And take a selfie. And then, of course, they're standing there with this card still going, "What is this?" And so she gets an opportunity to tell them quickly about Plexus. And it has some good information on the card just about different health issues that Plexus can help with. So that's a great way to market and get your 5 people. You can find other creative ways, but there's one for you. So the 531, so you got your 5 shares and you have your follow-up with 3. Make sure you're following up with 3 different either potentials or current customers. So people that have currently, in the past asked you about Plexus, and you've said, "Hey, are you ready to try it with 60-day money-back guarantee? You got nothing to lose." Or it's following up with a current customer, checking on them, helping them troubleshoot, or seeing what successes they've had so far in their Plexus journey. So we're going to follow up with 3. And then we're going to mentor or train one of our team. So if we're constantly training and pouring into and helping our team, that's just, again, passing on the baton and making everyone else strong. So there's the 5-3-1 model that she spoke about. And then she also brought up, when we follow up with people, we need to keep track of it. So whether that's writing it in your journal or in your day planner, or if you keep up with stuff digitally or on your phone, however it is, follow up and actually keep track of, okay, talk to Susie 3 weeks ago. I remember her saying that she had tested positive for Candida, and now she has, the probiotic. Now I'm going to ask her, "How are you doing?" And then write that down, write her results. Or again, if it's a follow-up with a potential customer, 3 weeks ago, they might have said, "Hey, I'm waiting till I get paid. I'll let you know." Well, now you realize, okay, you probably have gotten paid since then, so I'll just remind you about your paycheck, and we'll see if you're ready to order now. So however it is, just keep track of it. And again, writing down things is very, very helpful. And then she also spoke about the difference between a leader versus a manager. How duplication is key. That leaders will actually raise up other leaders, not just followers. So we want to make sure our teams are strong, that we are educating them so that they can then, as I said earlier, take the baton and run with it. That we're not just trying to be this manager where everything comes to us. And yes, when you're new, a lot will come to us. But ultimately what we're doing is we're raising up other leaders so that they can feel empowered to learn and grow on their own and help someone else do the exact same. So duplication is key. We want to have teams where we support and train, but that we're not just managing everything and it's all up to us like we're the hero, right? Everyone's a hero because we're going to train everyone to be a leader. So that was great advice. And then the last thing she talked about was how important it is to constantly be educating ourselves. So to swap entertainment for education. So whether that's a TV show that you're kind of sucked into, or again, kind of that black hole of social media or Facebook that we're just spending time in, but really not doing anything productive in, swap that time for education. I know even on our team page, we have several files that show lots of Sonia Dudley videos, Sarah Marble videos. We also have Jen Poole's, almost every single one of her training calls from her team page. We have the Destination Diamond, awesome calls. Rainey's about to start some team calls. We have a plethora of calls and videos and documents that we can be spending our time on, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes a day. Jen said, even if we're just in carpool and we're waiting in line and we're listening to a video, we're listening to a call. We could even listen to a video. You don't have to watch someone's mug in order to learn, right? So make sure that we're spending that time educating ourselves. I've said before, even if it's looking up an ingredient that's on the back of, let's say, the new product, Boost. Pick up the back of a Boost bottle and Google some of the ingredients and research and learn so that you'll know what Coeruleum fimbriata is, which I still don't know how to pronounce, but I just make it up as I go. But look that up and figure out what that is. Learn about 5-HTP in the accelerator. Look up chromium that's in Plexus Slim and just know a little bit about our products. So that can just be 5 to 10 minutes a day, but that will give you confidence and just help you feel better in the sense of being able to help others. So make sure you're setting out that time to keep educating yourself. That's the end of my notes. I wrote, and this might have been my own personal thing and not what Jen said, I said Jen, Sarah said, but to educate, train, educate, train. So again, as you are educating yourself, then pass that on to someone else. And then as you continue to educate, pass that on, and then teach them to pass that on. Duplication is key here. So we have a great team. We have great resources, but Sarah talks a lot about how developing and honing in on our personal skills, it's key. It's key for us to continue to grow. And that was something that was very impactful to me. So I hope this encourages you all, and I'm sorry for those that missed convention. It was fantastic. I hope that you will be there next year. And Leaders Retreat is coming up. That's in October, and we have an amazing contest for you all. So I'm going to make another video to go over those details. But hopefully this jump starts you all to be more efficient in your business and develop your personal skills and help train your team. So we'll talk soon. Bye.